All right, let's get started, guys. We're going to start with question 1 type questions, and we should already know what these questions are going to look like. We're only going to be doing questions A and B, and each of these questions is worth 2 marks. Each of these questions is worth 2 marks, and I'm going to do that in just a second. Hi, Anotita. I will in just a second. And we remember that simplify literally just means take away the brackets. Okay, take away the brackets. And how do we take away brackets? No worries, guys. Okay, everybody's got 4 minutes and counting to answer the following 2 questions for questions 1, A and B. All right, 4 minutes, guys. Go for it. Remember to pop your favorite emoji in the chat when you're done. Sure, Mamelo, that was fast. Sure. Caitlin, favorite emoji, don't give the answers away. Oh, I like that one in Kechi. Nice one. Hi, Didi. Yep. Agreed. One more minute. I know, Didi. I know. All right, guys, time's up, pens down. Okay, thanks, Tisha. Someone was about to say, I think Utlukling said something about not being able to see us. That's okay, Utlukling, we're happy to have you. And remember, everything is recorded, so if you don't get the reception that you need, you can always watch the recording. All right, guys. So these questions are quite simple in that in order to take away the brackets, we're just going to distribute. So we'll start with this first one, distribute that in, and you should get 4x squared minus 4. You should get a mark for each, for the 4x squared and for the minus 4. Now, this question is a little bit more difficult or a little bit more tedious in that this x plus 2 is all squared. So what we need to do is we need to rewrite x plus 2 twice. Okay, so we need to bring the negative 2 with us and rewrite this x plus 2 two times. X plus 2, x plus 2. Okay, so our final answer here, negative 2, and in brackets we'll have x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then we need to distribute that in, negative 2x squared minus, not minus 4x, minus 8x, minus 8x minus 8, and you will only get marks for that part there and for the final answer, for actually breaking out that whole part over there and the final answer. The reason why we will not give you a mark for doing that is because you can go straight from that into this. Okay, there is a shortcut in mathematics, but you learned that shortcut in grade 9, so we don't count it anymore in grade 10. You will only get a mark for the distribution. All right, give me a mark out of 4, guys. How much did we get out of 4 for each of these questions? Let me know in the chat. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Ah, amazing. That means that all those question 1 and question 2 things we need to be. Hi, Kimotoko, and Swela's here as well. Hi, guys, and Offense. Hello, everybody. I'm glad you guys, you came in and you immediately just started working. I didn't get hi, ma'am, sorry, I'm late. What are we doing? No, you guys jumped straight into it. I love that. Love, love, love it. Hi, Ntantla. It's awesome to see you guys. I'm glad everybody got 100% for this. This was a pretty easy one. All right, so let's go into our factorize section. Okay, so remember, guys, when we're factorizing, there's normally 5 things that they would ask of us. Number 1 is our default setting. Who remembers what is our default setting? Anybody remember? What is the default setting when we're factorizing? Oh, it's not dots, I'll tell you that. The very first thing, yes, Caitlin, that's it. Amazing. Didi, remember, before we even try to do anything like dots, what we need to do is we need to look for an HCF. Make sure there's no highest common factor before you start looking for things like dots. Okay. Good. Always look for a highest common factor first. And then after that, we can look for all the other ones. We can look for dots. We can look at common bracket. Can look for common bracket. We can look at trinomials or quadratics, depending on what it is you call them. We can look at grouping, which is whenever we have 4 or more terms, we need to group. And then we can look at the sum and difference of cubes. Okay, so we need to look for each of these. Now, remember, they're not going to say, factorize this using this kind of method. You need to be able to tell what kind of method it is. Nobody's going to tell you what kind of factorization it is. You need to know what it is, all right? And you'll look at the mark allocation for these questions. There's a 2 mark allocation for the first one, 3 marks for the second one, and 2 marks for the fourth one. That is 7 minutes for you guys to get through this question. I'm not going to be that nice. You guys have 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes. Okay. 5 if people start finishing very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go 5 to 6 minutes. Let's see. Let's try and do it in 5 minutes. But I'll give you 6 minutes if people aren't done. Okay, go for it, guys. No worries, Sinogushe, welcome. Excellent stuff. Amazing. All right, guys, let's keep going. 2 minutes, guys. And as I said that, hi, Rumfilwe, no worries. We know there was a bit of a situation. No worries, welcome. Sure. All right. And that's time. Oh my goodness. Yes. So Rumufilo, we're doing question 1 type questions. Like, I feel like I could jump into my heater right now. The temperature just like, just dropped. Yeah. Like I can't sit closer to my heater than I already am right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Let's get started on the first question over here, guys. If we look at question A, we'll note over here that this is a trinomial. Okay, so we need to factorize this as a trinomial. So we're going to open 2 brackets. Okay, and if you don't know how to use the function on your calculator, FYI, I suggest you learn how to do it on a calculator. It's so much easier. You can do the quick cross method. Lucky for me, because I'm old. I can do the cross method in my head, but I'll do it out here for you guys so you guys can see. Okay, so we're going to look for the factors of 5x squared on this first part over here. Okay, and on the other part, we're going to look at the factors of 4. So we need both of those factors over here and the factors over there. So I know that the factors of 5x squared are going to be 5x and 1x, because 5 is a prime number and it's only going to have 2 factors. Right. Now, 4, however, is going to have 2 different sets of factors. It's going to have 4 and 1, and it's also going to have 2 times 2. Right. So if I try to put, let's say, because I need the number 12, I need 12x. Let's say maybe we put 4 so that it multiplies with 5. If I do that, 4 and 5 and 1 and that, I'm going to get 5x times 4 will give me 20x, and x times 1 will give me 1x, or just x. No matter which way I add or subtract these things, they are not going to give me what I want, because they're only going to give me 21x. Doesn't really make a difference. If I do it the other way around and I put the 4 here and the 1 here, I'm still going to get 5x and 4x. That gives me 9x altogether. So that doesn't work either, because I want negative 12x. I won't be able to get 9x. And if I subtract, it won't be correct. All right. So we know that 4 and 1 will not work. So our only option would be 2 and 2, right? So if I put these in here, remember, guys, we need to multiply that way. 5x times 2 and x times 2. 5x times 2 will give us 10x, and x times 2 will give us 2x. And if I add them together, they will give me 12x. But because I want negative 12x, that means both of them have to be negative, which means both of my brackets needs to be negative. So I know that I'm going to put my brackets in just like that. So I will get 5x minus 2 and x minus 2. So my 2 marks, one will come from the first bracket and from the second bracket. Okay. Unfortunately, if you get at least one thing wrong, like let's say, for instance, you put a plus there, you cannot get that mark. We're going to deduct a mark. Even if your factors are correct, they must be 100% correct in order for you to get the mark. Amogelang, don't stress. It's actually Simone and not Simon. Don't stress. Okay. You meet her in just a bit. You'll meet her in just a little bit. All right. So over here, I'm going to immediately notice that I have 4 or more brackets or terms. So what kind of grouping am I going to use here, guys, for B? What kind of factorization? Grouping. Look, I'm giving you guys the answer. I'm going to use grouping. Okay, I gave away the answer, which kind of feels unfair, but it's fine. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to group the first 2, and I'm going to group the last 2, and I'm going to see if there's anything that can be taken out there as a common factor. So if I want to take out something between X and Y, there's nothing except 1. So I could do this 1 and then X minus Y. Which doesn't really help me, plus X, Y, and 1 also have nothing in common, so I can only take out 1 and X, Y minus 1. So we end up at the same place. So obviously, no, we need to rearrange a little bit. Okay, we're going to rearrange a little bit. I know that that one and that one have Y in common. So I'm going to put those 2 together, and then I'm going to put X and minus 1 together. So I'm going to get X minus 1 minus Y plus, or let's say plus XY minus Y. There's a reason why I want it that way. Plus XY minus Y. Good. Yo, Nkandla's already beat me to it. That's it, Nkandla. Good. So now I know that these first 2 will have 1 in common. That won't make a difference. 1, we'll take 1 out and we'll get X minus 1. And over here, I'm going to take Y out as a common factor. Plus Y. And I will have X minus 1. And now I notice, yay, for me, I've got a common bracket in the middle over here. There's X minus 1 and X minus 1. So that's exactly what it is I'm going to take out. Okay, I'm going to take out X minus 1 as a common bracket, X minus 1. And if I take that out, what I have left is 1 plus Y. Or you can say Y plus 1. It won't make a difference whether you wrote it either way. And the queen herself has arrived. Late. Fashionably late as usual. Hi, Kama. It's great to have you with us. Amazing. Very, very well done for joining us, even though you've only come in halfway through the lesson. We know that there was a bit of an issue with the links, which is perfectly fine. All right, so we're going to get 1 mark for the rearranging. Oh, I'm lying. There's no mark for the rearranging. It's 3 marks. All right. 1 mark for taking out a common factor in each, and 2 marks for the answer. All right. Hello, Mawande. Everybody's showing up just a teeny bit late today, which is perfectly fine. All right. So we look at C over here. It's okay, Princess. It's great to have you. All right. If we look at this one over here, we're going to notice that this is a cube. This is a difference of cubes. So we're going to open small bracket and big bracket. In the small bracket, we're going to put a minus, and then in the other bracket, opposite signs, plus and plus. Then we're going to take the cube root of the first and the cube root of the second. So we're going to get X, and over here, we're going to get 5Y. Okay. And then I'm going to square this number and put it over here. So I'm going to get X squared, or that variable, X squared. And I'm going to square negative 5Y, take it all the way over here, put it on the end there. And I know that negative 5Y squared will give me 25Y squared, like that. And then I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to multiply them to each other and switch their sign. So I'm going to have X multiplied by 5, negative 5Y will give me negative 5Y. And then instead of writing a negative, I'm going to write 5XY, sorry, 5XY. Instead of writing a negative, I'm going to put a positive. That goes right in the middle. Hi, Benjamin. All right, so we're going to get plus 5XY in the middle. All right, and that's the answer that we're going to get over here. And you're going to get 1 mark for the small bracket, 1 mark for the big bracket. Give me a mark out of 7. How did we do out of 7? Those of you who just arrived, you already get 0. Sorry. It can't be helped. It cannot be helped. Sorry. Woo, Didi got 0. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm seeing the 6s and the 5s. Okay, I see you guys. Okay, Stephen got 3, Ritepula got 5. All right. It's okay. It's okay. This is the place to make the mistakes, my sweetie. It's perfectly fine. Okay, and I'll let you know, factorization is one of the harder things to do when you're learning the basics of mathematics. Okay. It gets easier as the grades progress. You'll see by the time you get to grade 11, you'll be like, oh man. Kava, what do you mean you got full marks? You just got here. She's like, oh man, I got full marks. I don't believe you. You just got here. You just got here. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. We've got to, it doesn't, the maths is not mathsing. Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it though. Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it, but okay, well done. Anam, are you asking me to scroll up or down? Because, oh, the answer for C. All right, my sweetie, no worries. There's the answer for C. This is the answer, the one that you're looking at over here in orange. That's the answer we're looking for. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Oh, Ramufila 2C, we've done many cubes, so we shouldn't be having that big an issue with cubes right now. Remember, guys, this section requires practice. A lot of practice. Okay, Princess, you've got 5 seconds. You know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And then Teacher Nelly would be like, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Okay, excellent, Princess. All right, cool. All right, guys, let's go to question D. Okay, question D here says, solve for the inequality and represent your answer on a number line. Okay, so represent this on a number line. I'm going to get to that in just a second, don't stress. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a chance to solve for this inequality. Now, I just need to ask you guys, do we solve an inequality any different to how we would solve an equation? Yes or no? No, that's it. We're going to do the exact same thing. The only difference is if I divide by what? If I divide by what happens? Something happens if I divide by a specific type of number. If I divide or multiply, not by 0. Hi, Blessing, by the way, not by 0. If I divide or multiply by, that's it, Swela, good. Yes, that's Epile, that's it. If I divide or multiply by a negative, then there must be a sign change. All right, there needs to be a sign change. All right, and that's the only difference between this and solving for an equation. So you guys, it's worth 3 marks. You've got 3 minutes, go, while I explain to Kimotoko that Teacher Nelly is at her visa interview in Johannesburg, so she's not able to make it today. Okay. She's getting a visa. Miguel is flying over the seas soon. But I won't spoil it for her. I'll let her tell you guys what's going on. Okay. I'm a princess without you. We would never leave you behind, Princess. She would never. She would never. I'll let her know that she can't just do things without you. How dare she leave you behind? Oh, Remufilo is done. Remufilo is done. Good. I know you're gonna get it right. Don't stress. This is still question 2. It's just question 2D, Caitlin. Question 2D. Question 3 is coming up. Okay. Leah's done as well. Amazing. All right. Yes, Chifaro. Hello, Chifaro. No, Didi, I'm sure you will. Don't even stress. All right, let's get to this question. I was going to wait until the 1 minute was up, but it looks like many of you guys are done. So let's just jump straight into it. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, anything with an X, one side, anything without an X, other side, make sure that I'm getting that correct. Right. So I'm going to take my negative 4X over to the other side, and it's going to become positive. And I'm going to take my 1 over to the other side, and it's going to become negative. So I'm going to end up with 2X plus 4X is less than or equal to 7 minus 1. And then I just need to add 6X is less than or equal to 6. And then I'm going to divide by 6. Do I need to change my sign, guys? Do I need to change my sign? No, absolutely not. Because I did not divide by a negative or multiply by a negative, I don't need to change my sign. So X just needs to be less than or equal to 1. Now it says here, represent this on a number line. So we must do exactly that. I'm going to bring out the big guns over here. And remember, guys, we don't even need to like be pedantic about it and be like 0, minus 1, minus 2. No, we're not doing any of that. Okay, it's not necessary. Nobody's going to give you an extra mark for it. All you're going to do is you're going to draw 1 mark for 1, just like that. And then you're going to draw a dot. Open or closed circle, guys. Open or closed circle. Mawande, why? Explain to me why. See now Didi saying closed and Mamelo saying closed. If you're saying either of those, then you need to tell me one. Okay, good, because closed means not limited. Okay, remember what each of them mean. All right, we need to close it. Here's why, Mawande, because it's also equal to 1. Okay, now I'm showing it in the wrong place. Okay, it's also equal to 1. So if they had only said that it needs to be less than, then we could leave it open. But because it's less than and equal to, we need to close the dot. Okay, but we know that X needs to be less than, so 1 is the bigger number. So our arrow needs to go in that direction. Okay, and anybody who is lost on some, hey, ma'am, what is going on? We do a long section on this in term 1. So you're going to have to go in deep into the Watobe archives to find the part where we do linear inequalities in term 1. And I show you how to use the number line. We learn about set builder notation, and we also learn about interval notation. It's a must watch. You know, like when Netflix gives you recommendations, this is my Watobe recommendation. Okay, my Watobe recommend is to go watch this. Okay, I know I spelled recommend wrong. Nobody judge me. Okay, my Watobe. No, do not give up on it. But is your data? Sorry. I know. Just watch it on like low, low HD, like the one that's almost like pixelated. Then at least it will use a little bit less data. I calm down. They're not that bad. She means education houses, not houses of hell. Okay, all right. Your 3 marks, guys, will come from your basic operations, your final answer over here, and 1 mark for your number line. Okay. Remufile, I love to see it. Okay. Love to see it. All right, for those of you who are already open, no, we can't. Thank you. We can't talk about it. Not yet. I'm also opening on Tuesday. Guys, let's enjoy this while we can. All right. Yeah. For me, it's also Tuesday, but that's because I'm a teacher. All right, here's question 3, guys. Here's question 3. Question 3. Let's just get Princess caught up. Okay, question 3 is a bit of a difficult one. I'll give them that. Okay, question 3 is a bit of a tough nut. Okay, this is exponents, guys. We're going to be talking about exponents here, right? Now, there's a particular rule that we need to use. As soon as we see a plus and a minus, okay, what we need to do, okay, give me 1 second. All right, guys. Okay, so what we need to do here is we need to split and factorize. Okay, now I know these kind of questions are pretty tricky, so I'm just going to ask you guys in the chat quickly. True. Thanks, Teacher Simone. Let them know. Let them know. All right. Would you guys like to try this one alone, or would you like a bit of help? So if you want to try this one alone, you can just type alone in the chat and get going. Don't even stress. And if you need help, please just type help in the chat. Okay. TJ's like, help. Okay, everybody except Remufilo says help. So Remufilo, I'm going to leave you to go for it. And then I think me and everybody else, Zwanga, go for it. Go for it. I will go ahead and help everybody else as we go. All right, Mawande, you too, go for it. Okay. All right, guys. Let's start by splitting. Okay, this is what we're doing. Yeah, okay, let's start by splitting. Okay. Chiparo, say hi to Teacher Simone. She's standing in for Teacher Nels today. This is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to split. So we're going to start by going 7 times 5 to the power of x plus 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of 1. Do you guys notice what I've done? Just give me a thumbs up if you noticed what I've done here. Okay. I've taken that 5 to the power of x plus 1 and I've split it. I've split it into 5 to the power of x multiplied by 5 to the power of 1. If you guys are with me, give me a thumbs up. All right. And then we're going to do the same at the bottom. I want you guys to do the exact same at the bottom. Okay. So we're going to take that and we're going to split it as well. All right. So we're going to take 5 to the power of x multiplied by 5 to the power of -1 minus 5 to the power of x. Now, I want you guys to note something. If I had said to you that the top was actually 7x minus 5x squared, how would we factorize the top, guys? How would we factorize the top? Or how would we factorize this thing that I've just put you over here? What would we do? Anybody got any idea? How would we factorize this thing? Good. Yes, Swella, good. We would take out a common factor. It's only two terms. So we're going to take out a common factor of x, right? And we'd have 7 plus 5x left. Okay. All right, Princess, put your hand up for me, my sweetie, and I'll take your question in just a second. All right. So I want you guys to have a look over here at the top. What do I have? If I had to factorize the top, what would I take out as my common factor? Not the x. Remember, Caitlin, the x is not on its own. That's it, Kimukoko. 5 to the power of x. That's it, Mamello. Beautiful. So that's what we're going to take out. Take out the 5 to the power of x and tell me what I have left. All right. So take it out and tell me what's left, guys. Princess, what's your question, my sweetie?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, my sweetie.
Wait, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. I can hear you.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, you see like the second part where you wrote, isn't it like when like you're gonna write your next one, aren't you like supposed to only write the like exponents? Like then you're gonna say like x plus x times 1, and then like just continue, or like
Oh, not in this case, because Princess, in that case, then we would be looking at an equation, and this is not an equation, this is an expression. Okay, so we can't drop the bases. Okay, we can't compare, especially when we have things like a 7 over there and we have a plus and a minus in between. There's something completely different happening. If the question said this, if it went 5 to the power of x is equal to 5 to the power of 1, yes, then we can drop the bases because there's an equal sign in the middle. Okay. But
yes,
in this
ma'am, I
case,
understand.
don't do that. All right. Okay, my sweetie.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
question, by the way. Very good question. Okay, good. So if I take 5 to the power of x out at the top, I'm going to have 7 plus, don't forget the 7, I mean the plus 5 to the power of 1. Okay, over, now, what about at the bottom, guys? What are we going to do at the bottom? Good, Didi, again, we're going to take out the common factor, which is 5 to the power of x. Okay, 5 to the power of x. Tell me, what do I have left? If I take out 5 to the power of x as a common factor, what am I going to have left? Good, Caitlin, I'll have 5 to the power of -1. What have you forgotten? I've also taken out 5 to the power of x over here. If I take it out, what do I have left over here? That's it, Waruna. Hello, Waruna. Excellent, good. We'll have a -1 left, -1. Okay, so now what we have left is this thing, because these two things will cancel. That one and that one will cancel. We'll have something common on the top and on the bottom. And this part here, if these things are already difficult, this isn't going to make it any easier. Punch this into a calculator and give me an answer. Punch it into a calculator. Princess, my sweetie, I'm going to need you to mute for me, please. Thank you. I see your hand is up instead of muting. Do you have another question, my sweetie? Ah, okay. I think she meant to mute and she put her hand up by mistake. Hi, Ndumiso. We're going to help you out in just a second. All right, pop your answer in the chat, guys. I'm going to do this quickly in my head. 7 plus 5, that's 12 over 1 over 5 minus 1. That is going to give me 12 over 1 over 5 minus 1 is 4 over 5, -4 over 5, which is 12 over 1 divided by, or multiplied by -5 over 4. Multiplied by -5 over 4. That is the same as 60, -60 over 4, which is equal to -15. Beautiful. So if you manage to get -15, then you'll be able to, then you would have gotten the correct answer. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was this question for you? Infinity, negative infinity. Oh my goodness. No, okay, Rumufile, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. Okay. All right. See, Chipara's like lightweight, ma'am. Easy work. Easy work. All right. That's okay, guys. I'll tell you something. Exponents require practice. And unfortunately, exponents are like that X that just won't go away. They're gonna keep, like the one that's gonna message you, you know, asking for love back.
I was just gonna say, like, this doesn't go away. I remember hating it, but you just have to practice, and then I promise, like, you'll end up loving it because you feel so smart when you know what you're doing.
You see what I mean? You just want like when you're like, yo, what's going on? And then you go, and then you get an answer. It's like a nice feeling. It's like a nice feeling. So if it's difficult, really the practice, guys, practice makes permanent. That's the only thing I can say. The more of these that you see, the easier this is going to become for you. Okay. Unfortunately, they are there in grade 11. they are there in grade 12. Thank you, Princess. It's not a crime to stay single and focus on your exponents. That's the you missed that part. Stay single and focus on your exponents. Okay. All right. Okay. Last question of the evening is to draw sketches. Okay. We're going to draw sketches of functions. Right. This is question 5. I skipped question 4 because it was getting a bit repetitive, but I just want us to be able to sketch this. Let's start with question A. What kind of graph do we have over here, guys? Anybody remember what kind of graph do we have? Oh, Princess, I mean over here, this kind of graph. Ah, hi, Vaughn. Aha, I knew we'd have this kind of debate, and this is why it came up first. Good. All right. So I want you guys to be very, very careful, right? Just because there's something over something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a hyperbola or that it's a parabola. Okay. That's okay, Ndumiso. It's okay. We're learning. Don't stress. What we know about a hyperbola, guys, is that the x needs to be at the bottom. And this one doesn't have an x at the bottom. So Vaughn is actually right on the money. This particular graph is linear. This is actually the graph of y is equal to a half x minus 4. So we need to be very careful when we're reading these kind of questions, guys. Make sure that we remember the different types of graphs and what they need to look like. So I'm going to give you guys a second to plot this graph or to draw the sketch of this graph. It is in fact a linear graph. Well done, Offense. It is a linear graph. Remember, we only need 2 points, guys. We need the x-intercept and we need the y-intercept. Finish and clear. And we all know what to do. X-intercept, y is equal to something. Y-intercept, x is equal to something. And both of those things will give you 2 points that you need, and you can use them to draw your graph, x, y. Okay. That's it, Amogelang. Beautiful. X-intercept, y is equal to 0. Y-intercept, x is equal to 0. And then you only need to find those 2 points and solve, and plot them, each of them. Grab your ruler, shoops, straight line. Okay. And if you're done with this one, because it is quite easy, have a look at question B there at the bottom. Okay, and I will give you guys this one. Yes, you guys are 100% correct. This is the hyperbola. Okay, it's a hyperbola. All right, for the sake of time, I'm going to look at this first one over here. All right, if I make my x-intercept, if I'm looking for my x-intercept, I'm going to make y 0. So I'm going to end up with 0 is equal to a half x minus 4. If I do the quick maths, 4 goes over to that side. To get rid of that, I would have to divide by half. Therefore, x is equal to 2. All right, so on my x-axis, my x must be at the point 2. Okay, and if I want my y-intercept, my x is 0, therefore y is equal to -4. So on my y-axis, my -4 will be over here. Okay, so my graph should look like that. And again, guys, I'm not Pablo Picasso. Ne? You guys know, you know my love-hate relationship with drawing. Ne? No judgment. You guys said this was a judgment-free zone. No judgment. No judgment, Mawade. Thank you. You know drawing never loved me. Yeah, there you go. No, what did you do, teacher Coco? Okay, there you go. Okay, good. All right, so this is what our graph should look like. It's a positive graph going through 2 and -4. Yes, Leah, especially me. You guys know this. You guys know this. All right. The next graph here says y. Oh no, don't bring up the bicycles. Don't. Your teachers, when there was this one time where I had to draw bicycles to show slopes. Yeah, these kids, they chewed me out. They were just like, yo.
I remember. Says a lot.
I know, you know what I mean? I mean, they could cut me some slack. All right. Yes, Anotida, I see you. All right. So for our hyperbola, guys, okay, sure. I just want to remind everyone that we need an asymptote. Okay, find me the asymptote, guys. And with our asymptote, we're also going to get an x-intercept. So find me the x-intercept as well, please. Find me both of these things and then draw your graph. No worries, you've got 2 seconds. Excellent, awesome stuff. All right, let's look at this one, guys. Well, find me the asymptote and the x-intercept, guys. We know that our graph is positive, so it must lie in which 2 quadrants? Anybody remember? That's it. Thank you, Anutida. 1 and 3, good. We must lie in quadrants 1 and 3. What is our asymptote? Give me my asymptote. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, lovely. I was like, no, teachers don't hide your face. Good for them to see. Good. The asymptote is at y is equal to 1. Excellent. Good. So our asymptote will be there. On the y-axis at 1. Okay, this is y, this is x. Find me the x-intercept, guys. Remember x-intercept, y must equal 0. So where is my x-intercept going to be? Yeah, we've got like 30 seconds left here. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, 0 is equal to 2 over x plus 1. We're going to take 1 over to the other side. We'll get -1 is equal to 2 over x. And then I'm going to cross multiply. So I'll end up with -x is equal to 2. Therefore, x is equal to -2. Okay, I should actually be moving just a little bit slower. I know this. I'm pressed for time, my sweetie. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to take a screenshot, okay, so that we can come back to this on Wednesday, because we're going to pick up again on Wednesday. All right. Okay. So that's what this graph over here. I know, Anutida, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Okay, and that is our 2 hyperbolas, guys.